What's up, YouTube fans? Today I'm reviewing the FansToys Koot, their version of Cup. I'm definitely going to be getting the Axe Transbot version of this as well. So in the meantime, this came out. My eBay seller had this available. It was pretty good discounts, like $88 instead of I think it sells for $99 on most of the retailers. So I felt like that was a pretty good deal, and it looked pretty good in some of the early pictures. Now I was hoping to get this early enough to review it first, but obviously that didn't happen. A couple of reviews come out already, specifically Bobby Skullface. He's put his review out. Yeah, this is 100. And I was kind of disappointed with the review because I thought it looked really good, and he kind of was knocking the figure especially for the transformation. So I'm definitely interested to see how this guy transforms, but let's take a look at the box first. So for the box, you've got an animated image here of their version of Cup. Same thing on the side, FansToys 2017. On the back, you got product shots. Similar, a little similar to Takara, but not really. Definitely, they've got their own look and style here. By the way, this is my first FansToys figure. I haven't had one before, so I'm kind of excited to have one. It's really heavy. FT-22. That's it. Let's get this guy open. They do come in these styrofoam containers, which are fine. You know, I don't mind as long as it protects the figure. It does come with a book and the card. Not a huge fan of this. What looks like a CGI image, or maybe it's the animation model. But I wish it was like like this. You know, the drawing. Anyway, that's what you get. And then you get the figure itself packaged up like this. It does come with a nice plastic protective cover, which I appreciate. Here you have the figure. Wow, it's really heavy. Holy cow, that's heavy. Much heavier than what I'm used to in the past. We'll get this guy weighed a little bit later. You do get the gun here. You get the alternate pieces for the chest. Alternate face and the cigars, alternate eye pieces. That's good. And you get the target master here. So let's get all this stuff out of the way. And we'll get this open so we can take a look at it. These cigars are really, really tiny, and you kind of got to be careful with them. But looks like they fit into the face here. This is very similar to the what was it, Toy World version, where they gave you the cigar. So let's see if I can just get it a little closer. So it does fit in there. So that's a nice little feature. We'll see how that looks in when we get this face switched out. Then you get the translucent pieces here. Now they're a little smoky, so we'll see how that looks on there. And then finally you got the gun. Looks like just a solid color. And you got alternate eyepiece here. Huh. So this looks like a mistake, because the eyes that are on there are metallic blue, and the extra eyes they gave you are also metallic blue. So I feel like this should have been translucent blue. Unless it's meant only for this head, I don't know. But I would assume they'd give you a translucent blue and a solid blue, so you could have both. But that's really it. Now on to the figure. So this feels really good. It's so solid and heavy. Let's get a weight on this guy. So this guy weighs in at almost 11.5 ounces. That is huge. So just for comparison, let's bring in Masterpiece Prowl here. And he weighs in at about 5 ounces, 4 7/8. So This guy is huge. He is really heavy. Yeah, 11.5 ounces. So a lot of die cast in there. For sure, big boy. Let's just get a height here. So he's about 7 3/4. The top of his head, just about a little short of that. And from shoulder to shoulder, about 3 inches. So pretty good size robot here. I'm liking the colors and everything on this. Now in pictures this looked a little more yellowish, but in hand it's definitely orange. You know, it's pretty much orange color. And I don't remember exactly the color of Cup in the cartoon. We'll put an image up here to do a quick comparison. And I feel like looking at him in person, he does look like, you know, the G1 character. So I think it's a pretty good representation. But I'm wondering if X-Transbot's going to do a little bit better with the color matching and with the overall look. I am noticing the feet don't really... Oh, there is articulation. I'm sorry. It was just... Everything's really tight on this guy. So, but he's got great... It seems like really good articulation here. We're going to take a look at all that. So first let's take a quick look at accessories here. So here's his gun. It does fold up, which I believe that's for vehicle mode, so you can angle this up and on his truck cab, which is a nice feature. I like that they included that. So let's get this gun in his hand here, and yeah, fits very, very nicely into the tab, or into the slot for the tab. Let's get him a little bit posed up here because he's looking kind of stiff. Here we go. And yeah, man, this is a solid piece. The whole thing is like solid metal. I mean, it just feels crazy. You know, when you compare to where they've come from. You know, again, I haven't had a FansToys figure, so this is all new to me. So, being that this is my first FansToys figure, you know, it's hard to know what to expect with the weight and the feel, but it feels really, really solid. It just feels like it's made of really good materials. Now, let's take a look next to Hot Rod here. And Hot Rod does look a little... I don't know, like his legs are a little dainty. Now that's not nothing to do with FansToys. You know, he just looks a little bit off in proportions. His arms are kind of big, and his legs. And I didn't really notice it until, you know, I got this guy, which his proportions are really well done. And it just seems like, oops, sorry for that. It just seems like the proportions on this guy are really much better than this. It's like he's got huge long arms and thin short legs. Doesn't seem quite right. In terms of this look here overall, I'm really impressed by what FansToys has done. Now again, I haven't had a FansToys figure, so I don't know what their level has been. I really wanted to get the FansToys Willies, but it's not available anywhere, and anywhere you look, it's like $200. So I'm not going to pay $200. But when that guy comes back on sale, I'll try to find it. All right, guys. So let's take a look at some of the other accessories here. Now, first, I want to take a look at the alternate head sculpt. In order to get this off, you kind of have to get up under the chin. So, kind of have to transform just a little bit. So you lift up on these tabs, and then you can pull away the front chest piece, and then you can kind of get your thumb in there, although it's still a little hard to get it off. I don't know the best way to do this. Maybe use a screwdriver. It's pretty tight on there. Oh, there we go. So you just got to pull it off that tab there. And then you can take the new face. Now, it's got the same, you know, metallic eyes, so I don't know why they would give you two sets of the same eyes. I think it was meant to be one set of clear and one set of metallic, but either way, doesn't matter. Yeah, it looks like the same set of eyes. I'm not sure why they give you two. They're really tiny pieces, so you kind of have to be careful as you're putting it in so you don't drop it inside the figure somewhere where you can't get it. Anyway, so then get the eyes in there and then stick that other face on there. I think this is definitely the better face because it's got the, you know, cigar, the spot to put the cigar in, which I think is going to be his preferred look, but let's see. So then you want to close this back up and close these tabs back down. Just get everything back situated there. I'll give him his cigar. Looks like I lost one already. Wow, looks like I lost a cigar already. That's interesting. Well, luckily we got two. I'll have to find the other one. So, just a note to you guys, be careful with that cigar. It's very, very easy to lose. Very small and falls out very easily. I kind of wish they just molded the face with the cigar in it, because what's the point of having a face with a hole? Right? You might as well just glue the cigar in there permanently. Let's try to get that in there pretty firmly, and that definitely looks good. I'm a huge fan of that. It looks a lot better than the Toy World one that we had. Forgot the name of that figure, but that was not great. It was, oh, I found the other cigar. It doesn't have like a little red end like the Toy World one did. You know, looked almost like it was lit up. So this one just has just black on the end. But the look overall, when you put it in, that it's really well done. So there you have the alternate head. I think I'm going to keep this one on there. By the way, the materials used on this face, it's like a matte finish, and it just feels like really high quality. So we got a couple more accessories here. One of them is this guy, and this is its Target Master. Now, I don't have a lot of Target Master. I think I only have one. Let's get that guy over here so we can do a little comparison. I got a lot of stuff on my table right now. But here is the X-Transbots. I think it was Night Shoot or Offshoot. I forgot the name of this guy. But this came with the X-Transbot Cyclonus figure. It did have a painted face. And just kind of lining them up here. They are roughly the same height. Although the one that comes with Koot is a little bit taller. And I forgot this guy's name. But let's take a close up here. So he's got a little bit thicker legs. I actually like the proportions on this guy a lot. I thought this X-Transbot did a really good job with their Target Master. You know, it's very posable. Really, really nice look to them. And this guy's kind of chunky. Let's see how he does on articulations. He does have a nice double ball jointed shoulder here. So you get full rotation, full articulation. Just like this guy. They both, oh, I was off camera there. Let's back up a little. And you do have a ball jointed elbow. The hands are really strange. They're like these flat, thin hands that look kind of weird. I don't know. Not my thing. I definitely prefer these. You know, that makes more sense. Now this didn't come with a weapon, but it's got a slot for a weapon if they ever make one. I wonder if you can hold like other little weapons. But one of the things about this guy, he does have, you know, a little bit of ankle articulation here. Very minimal, but it is there. So you can kind of get him posed standing. But this guy had a lot better articulation. You know, had an ankle rocker, ankle tilt, So you got a lot of options with this guy. You just could get him in some pretty crazy angles. Whereas this guy I feel like is a little more clunky. You know, he's kind of chunky and clunky. He's got a double jointed knee, but I don't know, something about him, he's just not, it's weird. His arms are short, his hands are weird. It's not quite exactly what I would expect. Especially for FansToys, which I've heard is the best. But oh, and you do get articulated head here. It does rotate all the way around. And it is painted and sculpted. And that's not bad. Right? I do think this was a pretty good head sculpt, but that's not bad. But the rest of the figure is really plain. There's nothing on it at all. So transforming, you just kind of fold this up, get the gun pointing straight up, fold the arms over, and fold this over, and I believe they fold together. Yes, they do fold together. So you kind of get them together, and then there's a little tab inside here. Just kind of stick those together. Hopefully I have this right. You rotate the legs around, and they do tab together. You see right down at the bottom. There's 2 tabs on each side. So not the greatest transformation for this thing. It looks okay. This guy didn't look much better. So it's hard to make a Target Master look good in gun mode, right? Because you're trying to get something with really good articulation, so it's a reasonable figure. Let's put this in and see how that fits. It's pretty tight in the hand, so not bad. It's cool that he can double wield here. You got 2 guns, and it's a good looking gun. You just gotta set him up to support the weight. And he does have nice articulation. We're gonna go over the articulation of Koot here, so that we can talk about, you know, everything that he has. But he does look good with the 2 guns. I think it's a good addition. It would be nice if you could stick this on somewhere else, like on his back, or maybe it does go on his back. Let's see. So it looks like you can stick it on the back. I wonder if this rotates. So it does rotate. Look at that. So you can stick it onto his back like that, almost like a missile launcher. That's not bad. Or you can just have it on his back like a backpack, or you can kind of fold it downwards. I didn't see anybody really talking about that. So you can have it like that, kind of like a backpack gun, which is pretty good. I like that. I actually like that a lot better than putting it in his arm. So that's a good feature. It's nice that this ended up right in the middle on the backpack. I haven't seen anyone show that. So all in all, I actually think the Target Master is not bad. It could probably have standard to have a little more paint or a little more color to it, but it's not horrible. I can deal with it. I want to do one more comparison here. Let's bring in Ultra Magnus just for a complete cast from the movie. At least that's what I have. I don't have blur. I was thinking of getting the I think it's Unique Toys blur, and I just wasn't sure if it was worth it or if it was good or not. And I saw some reviews, and it's kind of, the size is what's throwing me off. It's a little too big. So here you go. These 3 really do look good together. Now I am excited to get the FansToys version of Hot Rod. I actually think it's going to look better than this guy. The face is what's in question for me right now. Will the face sculpt really look like it? But this guy is spot on for me. I think they really did a great job with Koot here. Now he does have a little backpack, but honestly, it does not bother me. It's behind him. You're not going to see it. You know, you don't really pose your figure like on the side like that. But even if you did, it's not obtrusive, right? It's out of the way. Now, in terms of articulation, let's just get these guys out of the way here. This guy has a lot of articulation. So his head looks like a swivel. No, it is a ball joint. He is on a ball joint, but he's got plenty of movement. It's got wiggle waggle. It's got forward, backwards, all the way around. So you can get some really emotive stuff going on there. For shoulders, it's got some really nice, clicky, almost feels like spring-loaded. It's kind of cool. I like these joints. I haven't experienced FansToys before. Maybe that's how they make all of their figures, but I really like the way this feels. So you can get all the way up to there. You can go all the way around. Let's just take the gun out for now. You do have a double jointed elbow, so you get the full range there on the elbow, and that's not bad to me. I think that looks okay. The sculpt is fine. It's got plenty of extra elbow. Now, when you fold it back, you gotta fix it. So you gotta fold the second joint downwards. But it's good that they thought about that. You do have a waist. You have a bicep swivel and also a wrist swivel. The fingers are pinned. It's one pin, so the hand moves all together, one piece. You do have this nice translucent orange here on the waist and on the arms. I like the way they did that. I don't know if that's accurate, but I like the way it looks here on the figure itself. It really is heavy in the feet, so that's nice. It's weighted well. You do have a hip or waist swivel here. It does end up opening the abs, but not a big deal. You can just squeeze it back closed, but it does kind of push it open. I think it goes all the way to there, which is plenty, right? It opens up plenty. You do have some really nicely done hip skirts here that you can move out of the way. When I say nicely done, I just mean they're solid and they look good. They're sculpted well and they feel good. So you do get on a friction joint all the way up to there. That is not going anywhere. It's a solid joint. For forward and backwards, you got a ratchet. Going back, it is hindered here. It hits this back and that doesn't open up, so I don't know if you need much more back than that. You could probably get some pretty wide poses here if you wanted to. His knee joint is a double jointed knee, so you can get it all the way up to there. That's plenty of articulation. They really did a great job with this guy on the articulation. And you can also kind of fix the sculpt, right? That's what I like with the double joints. You can kind of make it look like however you want. Let's close these up here. You do get a thigh swivel. You also get a very nicely articulated ankle rocker here. You also get a toe tilt down. Not much for up. You get a little up. Well, okay, if you bend it up, you can get a little toe tilt. So you get enough. That works. You don't need any more than that. You could do the walking pose with this guy. I'm horrible at posing on camera, but you could do it if you spend some time. You can make it look right. I'm just not going to be able to do it. There you go. Not bad. Now the feet are a little, unstable because the back doesn't have anything kind of holding it up. And you can get it, you can fold this so that it's completely flat and he will stand up, but it's not that stable, so you can kind of knock it over. And I'm not really a huge fan that happens. Actually, let's take this gun off too. So that's pretty much it for articulation, but all in all, everything you could possibly want on this guy in terms of articulation are there. I don't know why people have been, I watched, see, that's one of the issues. I think I'm just going to glue this right in here. There's no reason to have this loose, right? That face is only intended, if you look at it, it's got a big hole in it. There's only intended to have a cigar. There's no reason to not have this in there. If you don't want the cigar, you just switch faces. So why not have this permanently attached? It's really kind of hard to get in there. Alright, lost that one. That one went flying. That's another reason to have this permanently attached. You want to be trying to find this thing all the time. So I definitely recommend gluing that in there. It doesn't make sense to have it flying around. But anyway, the head, everything really feels really good. I don't know how to explain, like the plastics, the quality of the plastics, the feel of the plastics. The paint is really well done. I don't see any flaws in the paint anywhere. Everything is like perfectly painted. I do have a QC sticker here. This is painted. So let's talk about die cast. The feet are die cast. You got die cast out here. I think the thighs are die cast. The chest feels like die cast. I mean, there's a lot of pieces of die cast on this guy. Plenty of weight, you know, in the right places. I think they nailed it with the balance of this figure. So overall, I'm really happy with this so far. At least in robot mode, I think they nailed it. It looks like what I would want it to look like. Oh, we did forget about this feature. Jeez. All right, so that's the third time this has fallen out. I'm gonna say this is not well done. They should have glued that in there. I wanted to show off the chest pieces. So you do have to open these up to change out the chest pieces. You just kind of pull those up, and then you pull these forward, and then you can kind of slide these chest pieces off, I believe. There's a lot of die cast in here too. You can sort of feel the quality in this thing. There you go. So you can just slide those off. Come on. They're really tight, by the way. You kind of have to get your fingernail in there and really get it. Come on. Pretty tight. There we go. I think it actually tabs in there. Maybe that's why it's so tight. But you can also have this look if you want. Squeeze those back together. You could have it without any chest piece, right? You could just have this electronic sort of looking chest, which is not bad. You know, that's a cool option that they've given you, is you can just have it without any chest cover at all and sort of have it exposed like that. Oh, there we go. I had to get it down there. There you go. You can have it like that, kind of with the exposed chest. Now he does have holes, so you can see through it. Probably don't want that, but if you get these pieces in there, let's get the clear pieces. Slide those on. And where the holes are, that's where you've got the tabs for these pieces. And there you got the clear pieces. I don't really like that. I don't know why that's included. Maybe it's referencing something from the cartoon or whatnot. But for me, I like the original cartoon colors. I just don't. I don't think this is necessary. It's nice that they gave you the option, but I just don't. I don't see the value in having that. So I'm going to put these regular pieces back. But I do like that they're giving their fans options here. You can kind of make it your own. So that's really it for robot mode. I think they nailed the robot mode. I think they nailed the weapons. I think they look really good. I really like the option here of being able to put the target master into the back and then have it as like a backpack gun, you know, like over shoulder cannon or whatever. That's a really good idea. My only complaint so far would be the cigar just kind of gets lost. They're really tiny and they're really delicate. But in terms of looks, this is exactly what I would want in a cup. So we'll get this guy transformed. If you haven't watched my videos before, I don't transform on camera. What I will do is make a separate video so you can watch the transformation. I have to learn how to transform this guy. I know it's pretty complex. So unfortunately, I I don't want to put the transformations in as part of my videos, so I make them separate. So if you are interested in that, you can watch that second video. But we are going to go straight from robot to vehicle mode, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back from transforming. Here is Koot in his vehicle mode. It's a very, very good vehicle mode. I mean, it's solid, it rolls well, it's heavy, it's everything I imagined Koot to be, or Cup to be, you know, it's good. The problem is getting in here. You know, the transformation is really, really hard. It took me a long time. It took me like an hour. I mean, maybe like 45 minutes. I don't know how long. I didn't time it, but it was definitely longer than usual. There's a lot of panels in here that have to just sort of bend over and kind of come together. It's really hard to... the sequence is not very clear in the instructions, and that's what makes it so hard. A lot of things have to kind of tab in and plug in. And it's just not that easy. So that's all I can say. I mean, it looks good. I mean, I like the way it transformed. You know, it's really, really smooth. I mean, I love the way it looks. And it's G1. I mean, there's no doubt about this. This looks G1 to me. It's a heck of a lot to get it here. It's really hard. In terms of the gun, you know, you can mount the target master on the back here, just like you could in robo mode. For some reason it has shocks on the back wheels, which is interesting. There's no shocks on the front wheels, but it's an interesting feature. They didn't really need it. It doesn't do anything for transformation, so I'm not sure why they have that, but it's nice. It looks good. I love the way it looks with the target master. You can rotate it because actually this is keyed, but it rotates. So that's really good thinking there. You know, they could have it off to the side or like that. So again, in vehicle mode and robo mode, you can have it over the back like this, and I really think that looks good. Now you can also, I believe you can put this in here too. Let's see. Yeah, so you can put that in there too, and again that rotates as well because they made a rotating receptacle right there. With that in there, I don't think you can attach this anywhere else. So all in all, I really do think this is a good... I'm going to take this sticker off. I don't know why. I should have put it on the foot before. Now it's kind of stuck in there. Anyway, all in all, I really do think this is a good figure. Again, this is my first FansToys, so I don't know if this is above par for this kind of figure from FansToys, but the quality level is extremely high. The detail, the heft, the paint, everything is really good quality. But here's the collector's card. I don't really like the picture on here. It's more like the, you know, animation, or not the animation, the 3D render of this figure before they made it. I don't know. I prefer to have like a drawing or a you know, illustration by somebody. The back's not bad. It looks pretty good. So all in all, that's a pretty nice card. I like it. It's a nice solid plastic piece here. And then the book itself is also pretty good. It's really good quality. The instructions themselves are good probably until you get to here. This last bit where you're trying to squeeze everything together, that's where everything kind of falls apart. I definitely recommend this for those that are looking for their masterpiece cup. It really is a good figure. It's just the transformation is pretty complicated. You know, I would take your time with it. Definitely use the instructions. You know, don't try to do this without the instructions. It's one of those that, I don't know, my transformation video is probably going to take a while to make because I just I've got to transform this back and forth a couple times before I can actually make that video. But that's really it, guys. Definitely pick this up if you're looking at Masterpiece Koot. Or Masterpiece Cup. I will be getting the Masterpiece X-Transbots version of Cup. I think it's called Lock. That one hasn't been announced yet. I haven't seen any copies of it out on the market yet. We'll see how that compares to this guy. This is a pretty high bar. I think they did a really good job with this. This is one of the best figures I have in terms of quality. It's just solid, and it's metal, and it's really beautiful. It's just the transformation is very painful. Alright guys, we'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.